It's the Intendor radio show tonight. I'm not watching Facebook. I watched Bernie Sanders' speech. It was down on his energy, and the whole tone was a little tired. I think wasn't enough fire and rehearsal, I suppose. But that's all right. That's good. It's good to see amateurs involved. Politics is too much for the pros these days. Has been. It'd be great if Trump and Sanders ended up being the opponents, because then Sanders would win, and he seems a lot less corrupted after all these years. He's been a pro-politician. He's taken the stances, and he's got the record that we're all yearning for. He can't say anything about pot, of course. I've heard of people being in prison for pot. It's disgusting. No one's ever died. The Black Panthers were destroyed by Intendor. My own campaign to run for U.S. Senate from North Carolina is likely an impossibility. But of course, all us old hippies are dying off. And there are a lot of people pretty happy about that, I imagine. Only the rock stars could have become the big politicians, you know. I think they were going to they wanted to run Bob Dylan at one point. I think then he wrecked his motorcycle. And then we would have found out he'd been doing heroin at one point. Now it's just as bad nearly as smoke a cigarette. I started again after 3.5 years off of them. And I haven't stopped yet. But I'll have to. I'll know how to do it. There are other things. I gave all the representatives of my district the telephone number for the point man for renewable energy. They had only to make one call. It's been a long time. They missed the timing too. You know, some people do read my website. I'm not sure. I found out that Purdue, the previous governor, who sort of abdicated and left for reasons that are obscure, I'm not sure what. Maybe it became tiresome. It's draining even thinking about it. Hearing what this legislature wants to do is depressing. The Connect bond for North Carolina, all about these transportation zones and all like that. Well, it's sensible. The engineers drew it up at North Carolina State University. And it makes sense. But the main thing really is to change the attitudes in Wilmington and make sure that the access road from Morehead City, the Deepwater Port, is completed and operational. There's something wrong with the fact that it hasn't been a long time now, for a long time. There's a kitty cat down here. Remember, I did do the band stuff. I did a little, I don't know, minor thing. I'm depressed at the idea that people get put in prison for pot, get stopped. The Dreyfus case in France. I mean, that was about injustice to one guy. And they went all over it for a long time, till he was cleared. Nobody even liked him. Well, the French do all right sometimes. But nobody's got a patent on hypocrisy. I've said that for a long time. Strength, wisdom, beauty, and humor. That's what I want the story of my life to be. I'm not supposed to go on too long. My my policy is turn to the engineers, support them. This is the last chance. We're in the last throes of humanity's ability to rein itself in and turn itself away from those things that are destroying us. It's true, the scientists tell us so. Only the engineers can fix it, and they're not getting support. Maybe they're shy. They don't like dealing with people either. If I don't get support from my OTC, AFL-CIO, I'm not running. Forget it. If they can't see it. I've got two gifts. I've said it. I got two gifts. As far as the world is concerned, well, I mean now. I'm talking about now. I guess I'm trying to point out that the insuro is superior to electronic money, creates loyalty to the nation. It's a nationalistic currency. If you don't change the currency, you're going to continue with the petrodollar imperative, which means oil and fossil fuels are the source of riches for the people with the most power. And they think they can go to New Zealand or anywhere. But it's the same way the hippies thought they were going to go out in the country. Going out of the country. The hippies, anarchists. Anarchy leads to isolation and despair. Or just, they're out there doing their own thing. Forget it. Thanks. Be cheery.